I got no rules, I count 'em.
What is good, Soul Crew? We back with another vid. I said I was gonna drop on, and here we go. So we finna get these bands real crazy, man. We're not gonna do too much, but we gonna hit it with the touch that it need. And if you tuned in, we gonna also throw in a bonus, cause I'm about to show y'all how to make some stencils for the free, and I'm about to show y'all where to get the paint from for the low. So stay tuned. Okay, so as you see, these shoes were very, very old. I mean, they are dirty. When you look at the top, they're pretty crushed in as well. So I figured, yeah, you already know what's finna go down. And we got it. We had to get it busted, man, because it was just too much for me to look at and I had to change it. Okay, so before I decided to start painting, I just wanted to clean the shoe off a little bit because I knew the paint wouldn't stick as long as the shoe was dirty. So that's the first thing I did, was I just grabbed some baking soda, things like that, and I started cleaning them away. Once I got the shoes clean, I went with the white over it and I started my color. The reason I used white was just so the colors will pop a little bit more and it just makes everything look. I didn't want this video to be too much of a tutorial, more of showing you the basics of how to do it. So I got the blue finish, and these are just some of the paints that I use, very cheap. I'll leave everything in the links so you can click it and see how much it costs. I think it was like $3 from Walmart. And I also just grabbed me a thing of toothpicks because that's what I use to do the checkers. And that I use just so I can stay inside those lines, because when you're doing stuff like this, it's just really that concentration that you need in order to keep those lines real straight. Okay, so now I'm getting into where I'm just showing you basically what I'm doing. I didn't really go too crazy with everything. I just literally, like I said, used a toothpick and I went and I lined up everything because it's just, I don't know how to explain it, but it's, you just want to really stay inside those lines, because everybody who does anything with detailing knows once you mess up, it is like the worst thing that could happen. I mean, it's not terrible. You can always go back and fix it, which is what I did, but it's just a simple fact that if you were to get blue over white, then that is a couple more layers that you have to put down in order to cover up that blue. So it is a tragic thing when you mess up. I mean, it can all be fixed, but at the same time, who wants to go back and fix something that they spent time on? Especially with these. Okay, my white is almost done. This is the second coat. I'm gonna put 3 on, but this is a little close up just to show you the difference between what a coat can do and how particular you have to be when doing this stuff. So my main base, I finished up. As you see, I did place the stencil in. Sadly, no, I did not get a video, so I'll just drop another video of how to actually do them in more detail. But as you see, I really just tried my hardest to stay inside those lines, and now we taped off the top so we can start that black coat. Now, like I said, when doing anything with detailing, you just want to be real particular that you don't get the paint on other parts that you're doing. So on this part, I just grabbed some newspaper, and as you see, I just did it real quick. So it don't even take time. It literally took me like 3 minutes to do this. All I did was wrap it around, tape it, boom, just like that. Same with the other shoe. Tape it, boom, wrap it, easy. So, I mean, all you really need is newspaper, and it takes no time at all. Like, okay, so now that I laid down all the tape, I just grabbed my airbrush and I'm testing it on a paper just to make sure it's spraying a good spray. You'll see me do this a couple times in the video, but pretty much that's it. The reason I decided to use the airbrush is because it gave it a smoother finish, if that makes sense. And yes, this is the Harbor Freight airbrush. So I think it was like $99, like $115 after you got the warranty and everything. But it works pretty good. As you see, it's laying down my layers perfectly. I'm not having any problems or anything. And all I did with this to get it to spray very good using cheap paint is I grabbed some thinner. And the thinner it'll basically take those big lumps out and it won't block up the gun. Now that the coat is done, this is just me pretty much peeling the tape because everybody know how satisfying it is to peel that tape and not see mess ups or mistakes. Now I'm not gonna lie. Sadly, I did mess up on the second shoe, and you'll see because I just wanted to point out that you will mess up. Sometimes things do bleed through the tape, especially when using the heat gun. I noticed that it can bleed a lot easier because the heat is actually blowing the paint down. So if the if the tape isn't like fully settled in, you will have it bleed through the tape. So just make sure when you taping, you take your time and just take those extra steps to watch out from doing things like that.
Perfect.
Once again, this is just another close-up just to kind of show you how it turned out after I fully got the tape off. So I got all my black done. Now that I'm going into the soles, like I said, with that tape, you just want to really make sure you get it good, because if you don't, you will go into other parts. Now me, with this sole, I wanted to do the black up. So where the black line is, I actually wanted to bring that up, and below I wanted to do white. So I'm just making sure I'm really getting the tape good, and I'm actually tucking it in the creases using my nail. As you see, it makes it like 1,000 times easier to do the paint, and it will not bleed. Guarantee it will not bleed, because it didn't bleed through with me. Even though it's white, still you will see it on other parts that have different colors. So yeah, I just used my nail and I tucked it. Don't be afraid to go back and fix mistakes, because in the long run, they're actually saving you time. Now that I got my soles all taped up, I'm about to go with this white, and as you see, you see it a little bit, so I had to actually spray it on the paper to make sure it was spraying, but it is. That's just how dirty the soles are. Even after being cleaned, you see they are still pretty filthy. So it took me about 5 to 6 layers of white, but it was worth it because at the end I got them actually looking pretty new. So after I got the soles all finished, I decided to go with a black in the back as well as the front. And my girl gave me the idea to do it in the front, and I actually like it because it came out a little bit better than I even expected it to be in the first place. After this, I pretty much added the finishing touches, and this is how they came out. As you see, I got everything detailed to the T, and I got the eyes dotted. Everything is good, and this is just kind of the final result. As you see, they don't even look like they were old at one point. They look brand new. And then I just got a couple pictures of my girl wearing them just to kind of show you how they look on you. So they look pretty good. They turned out great. Just thank everybody for watching, and here you go.
Perfect. Perfect.